By the beginning of 2020, Nintendo Switch sales had reached 35 million worldwide. But a looming global event would skyrocket those numbers. Despite a temporary supply shortage, Switch sales would boom as people found themselves homebound and looking for distractions. No game benefited from these factors more than Animal Crossing: New Horizons. The game dropped on March 20th, 2020, just a little over a week after Americans received the news that Tom Hanks had contracted coronavirus in Australia and the NBA had abruptly suspended its season. The world was completely flipped around, and uncertainty abounded, and the Nintendo Switch was about to become a very powerful coping mechanism for many gamers unable to leave their homes over the next several months. Let's look at the first-party Nintendo Switch releases for the year 2020. Animal Crossing: New Horizons dropped players onto an undeveloped island isolated from the world with just a few other villagers to interact with. The game's new theme unintentionally tapped into the experiences many gamers were going through in their actual lives, dealing with isolation and an increased difficulty in acquiring supplies. That, along with the ability to visit other players on their islands, helped onboard both existing and first-time Animal Crossing players. The game had what I can only describe as a moment, as gamers spent hour after hour improving their islands in hopes one of their IRL friends might be able to stop by. All at a time when that wasn't possible in the real world. Animal Crossing: New Horizons is currently the second highest selling Nintendo Switch game of all time, but it wouldn't be the only Nintendo sequel to get a Switch release in 2020. Paper Mario: The Origami King was a new take on the Paper Mario franchise. Introducing a new villain and gameplay mechanics, the game's charming story and aesthetic was handcuffed a bit by a clunky and confusing battle system. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity gave gamers another taste of the Hyrule unveiled in Breath of the Wild. 2020 also saw a number of ports from the Wii U and even from the Wii. Xenoblade Chronicles: The Definitive Edition, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, and Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore. But the biggest port event was the release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars during the Super Mario Bros. 30th Anniversary celebration. The package included Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy, and sold for just a limited time. Shortly after its release, Nintendo continued the Mario Anniversary Party with the release of Super Mario Bros. 35, a Tetris 99-esque twist on the original Super Mario Bros. Game. Nintendo's innovation achievement in 2020 stayed in the Mario universe, with the introduction of Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, an augmented reality package that included a physical RC-style kart controlled by the Switch and steered through an actual physical course set up in the home, with augmented reality elements added on the Switch display. The set was sold in both a Mario and a Luigi version. 2020 sucked. The same cannot be said about the first-party Nintendo Switch releases in 2020. In issuing a final grade, I cannot ignore the impact Animal Crossing: New Horizons had on the gaming community, at a time when it was sorely needed. I question whether the game would have been nearly as successful had the COVID pandemic not happened when it did. Would we have been so willing to sink so many hours into our islands if the world was operating as usual? Add some solid offerings from the Zelda, Pikmin, and Mario franchises, and I feel obligated to give the games of 2020 a straight-up A. In our next installment, a celebrated Nintendo heroine makes her triumphant return. But will that alone be enough to make 2021 a year to remember on the Nintendo Switch? Like this video and want more like it? You know what to do. Don't make me beg.